Hello, I'm James Azimoha. Welcome to Africa News. Let's see your headlines. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan makes his first trip to Ethiopia in 11 years for bilateral talks. U.S. Ambassador Brent Bozell arrives South Africa as relations remain strained. And workers at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport resume operations, ending a 30-hour strike. President Trump's newly appointed ambassador to South Africa, Brent Bozell, has arrived in the country, ready to take up his position amid heightened tensions between Washington and Pretoria. The new envoy is expected to present his credentials to President Cyril Ramaphosa in the coming days before officially commencing his role. Isaac Lukando has our top story.
President Trump selected the 70-year-old conservative and president of a media research center for the position in March last year. His appointment came at a time when Pretoria's ambassador to the United States was expelled following accusations that he was overly critical of Trump and his administration. In recent months, relations between South Africa and the United States have been marked by sharp policy differences. These have ranged from Washington's disputed claims of a white genocide in South Africa to disagreements over Israel's military campaign in Gaza. At his Senate confirmation hearing in October last year, Brent Bozell, a strong supporter of Israel, said he intended to push South Africa to drop its genocide case against Israel. He also said that he would promote President Trump's offer of refugee status for white Afrikaners, which the U.S. administration claims have faced discrimination in South Africa. Relations were further strained by Trump's boycott of the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg in November last year. Prior to that, the United States had also imposed 30% tariffs on South African exports. Pretoria says it is engaging in ongoing dialogue with Washington to secure a better trade deal while also signing a duty-free agreement with China. The United States remains South Africa's second largest bilateral trading partner after China. Isaac Lukando for A News in Dar es Salaam.
Kenya's Aviation Workers Union has called off a strike that disrupted flights and stranded passengers at Nairobi's main airport. The Kenyan Civil Aviation Authority says a deal has been reached, with staff returning to work as outstanding grievances are addressed.
Less than 30 hours after the Kenya Aviation Workers Union and air traffic control personnel went on strike, the industrial action was called off. A statement issued by the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority on Tuesday announced that all parties had agreed to an immediate return to work. At the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in the capital, Nairobi, there was relief as word spread that the strike had ended.
I feel happy. At least people can carry on with their travels.
But it may be some time yet before normal operations at the airport resume. The strike had forced dozens of flight cancellations, with several airlines rescheduling their flights. This left hundreds of passengers like Crispin Oguna, who was due to travel to Lagos for a conference early on Tuesday, stranded in Nairobi.
I arrived here at 3 a.m. in the morning. At 2 a.m. waiting for the flight. The flight was to be at 3:45 a.m. Then there was a delay, so we were informed to come back at 9. So at 9 coming back again, it was pushed to 1, and finally they told us it's cancelled.
Other passengers with connecting flights were unsure if they would get a flight out of Nairobi on Tuesday.
We're traveling this afternoon, but we don't know if the plane will leave at 5:30 today to Addis, and then after night plane to Stockholm.
The aviation union had issued a strike notice last week following a labor dispute with the Civil Aviation Authority. The union had demanded the employment of its members on permanent and pensionable terms, among other issues. JKIA is one of the busiest airports in the region and handled over 8.6 million passengers in 2025. According to the Kenya Airports Authority, in 2023, the airport handled over 360,000 tons of cargo, making it one of the leading cargo hubs in Africa.
Drones are reshaping the battlefield in Sudan's nearly 3-year war, and civilians are paying the price. Both the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces are expanding their use of unmanned aircraft, turning cities and towns into testing grounds for increasingly lethal technology. Naba Muhyiddin reports from Port Sudan.
Data from conflict monitors shows at least 2,200 people have been killed in drone attacks since the war began, with the majority of those deaths recorded last year alone. Strikes have been reported in Khartoum, Kordofan and Darfur, targeting troop positions but also hitting homes, markets and schools. Military analysts say both sides are racing to acquire advanced drones from foreign suppliers, while also modifying commercial aircraft to carry explosives. Former Air Force officers warn the spread of so-called kamikaze and first-person view drones has made movement on the ground more dangerous than at any point in the conflict. The United Nations Human Rights Office says recent waves of attacks killed more than 100 civilians in a single week in Kordofan, including dozens of children. The UN is warning that the rapid escalation of drone warfare is escalating civilian casualties and deepening Sudan's humanitarian crisis. And with neither side showing signs of slowing its aerial campaign, aid groups fear the toll will continue to rise. Naba Muhyiddin for News, Port Sudan.
Logistics firm Zipline is preparing to launch commercial drone deliveries in Kigali by 2028 in a move that could position Rwanda as the first country with nationwide autonomous coverage. Officials say the expansion could reduce delivery times and costs while laying the groundwork for broader urban air mobility.
These drones are carrying something more valuable than cargo. They're carrying time. Time that can mean the difference between life and death. At Zipline's distribution center in the remote Rwandan town of Muhanga, autonomous drones are launched daily, delivering blood, vaccines and essential medicines to hospitals and health centers, primarily in the southern and western regions. This is one of Zipline's 2 facilities in Rwanda, with the other located in the east.
We have started to build the 3rd hub so that we can have 100% coverage of all hospital, health centers and health posts located in Rwanda. As in impact, it has had a tremendous impact in revolutionizing the way medical doctors and nurses are able to treat patients. We have seen a complete transformation in terms of maternal mortality. It has almost reduced to 0 because a drone can deliver blood right on time to save a patient.
Locals say drone delivery has become the backbone of emergency health care, and as it expands, it will bring even greater cost savings, not just in Rwanda, but across the continent.
Before drones, we sometimes waited hours. Now we receive blood in minutes. It has changed emergency care completely. It has saved the lives of so many mothers and children.
As Rwanda embraces AI-driven delivery, officials said this model could soon extend beyond medicine to new forms of air mobility. Zipline is in advanced talks with regulators and the industry players to launch services in Kigali by early 2028, with experts predicting significant reductions in delivery time and cost, signaling that the future of air mobility in Rwanda is imminent rather than long-term. For now, though, the mission remains clear: deliver medical supplies to remote areas faster, save lives.
On his first trip to Ethiopia in 11 years, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan said that Israeli recognition of Somaliland does not benefit either Somalia nor the Horn of Africa. He made the comment at a press conference with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. This comes after Israel became the only country to formally recognize Somaliland in December last year. Turkey has been training Somalia's security forces and supplying development assistance in return for a foothold on a key global shipping route.
I would like to reiterate that Israel's recognition of Somaliland would benefit neither Somaliland nor the Horn of Africa.
Muslims worldwide are preparing for the start of Ramadan, but in the Gambia, Many households confront rising food prices. Heavy reliance on imports continues to push up the cost of staples such as rice and sugar, forcing families to adjust spending ahead of the holy month.
Behind me is the Serkunda market, one of the main and busiest markets in the Gambia. With Ramadan just days away, shoppers are not only buying for today, many are stocking up for the holy month. But for low-income earners earning between $40 and $75 a month, the math is tight. A single bag of rice costs close to $45, nearly an entire salary. Add cooking oil, sugar, potatoes, the cost quickly rises. And for a country where extended families often live under one roof, one bag of rice is nearly enough.
The problem right now with buying is that goods are expensive. The women are coming, but what they want to buy and the money they have is not enough. And right now, they mostly just come, ask about the prices, and then leave. But we all know why the goods are expensive. The dalasi is weak, and foreign exchange is higher, whether it is the sefa, the dollar, or other currencies. What we were buying the dollar for last year has increased this year. The same with the sefa. All of that affects the goods, because Gambians do not buy in dalasi. They pay in dollars or euros for imports.
Like many small economies, the Gambia remains exposed to global price movements. Much of its food supply is imported, meaning currency fluctuations and international market shifts directly affect local markets. For families observing Ramadan, food is central, not only to nourishment, but to community. Evening meals are shared, guests are welcomed, charity is encouraged. This year, however, some households say they are feeling the brunt of it.
The market is really expensive. A bag of potatoes is $30 and onions $27. As it is now, if I buy a bag of rice, it is costly, and women are tired because goods are expensive.
Although inflation has moderated compared to last year's double-digit levels, many consumers still say the relief has been slow to reach household budgets.
Well, when you look at the Gambia, it's a small open economy. And a small open economy that takes prices from the global market. I don't think it is peculiar to the Gambia. I think this is something that is globally an issue.
For many families, that means adjusting portion sizes, reducing variety, and prioritizing only essential items for iftar and suhoor. Ramadan will still be observed with devotion, but as food prices remain high and incomes stretched, many households are entering the holy month with tighter budgets and difficult financial choices.
Sky watchers gathered in Cape Town to observe a partial solar eclipse as the moon crossed the edge of the sun on Tuesday. The South African Astronomical Observatory opened its grounds to the public for the rare display. Take a look.
A partial solar eclipse was visible from parts of South Africa, with observers at the South African Astronomical Observatory in Cape Town seeing roughly 5% of the sun obscured as the moon passed between the Earth and the sun. Astronomers say such events offer educational opportunities for the public to observe celestial mechanics safely, while encouraging wider interest in science and space research. Visitors say it was an absolutely amazing experience.
This is the first time I've ever seen anything in person, so this is like full circle. It's super cool. It's a lot better than I expected. I don't know how to put it into words. It's exciting. It's exciting, and it's cooler that I wouldn't have been able to see it with my bare eyes. It just feels a lot more precious. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Just being able to have a look at the sun first thing. It's the first time I ever see it like that. Apart from the chunk that is dark, it's absolutely amazing.
We're experiencing a partial solar eclipse today. So the moon will be moving in front of the sun. From where we are in South Africa, it'll only be moving just over the edge of the sun, so a maximum of about 5%. But still, very exciting. And we should be able to see that on the disk of the sun, which is projected here.
The observatory says similar public viewing sessions will continue during future astronomical events as interest in space science grows.
Well, that's all we have today in African News. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to A News.